All right, another example about um, finding equivalent ratios given a total quantity. And thankfully, these numbers are not quite so involved, but I want you to persevere through them, you guys, because the processes work no matter what the numbers are. So this example here, it says the table below shows 6 different size pans that can be used to make macaroni and cheese. If the ratio of the ingredients stays the same ratio, same K, how might the recipe be altered to account for the different size pans? So I'm going to say that this is our X and our Y, as I always do. And I want to find the K. And I do that by dividing our Y value by our X. And I'm going to use this one right here because in this one I know both the quantities. I don't want to jump to pan size here because I don't know the relationship between our independent variable. Our cups of cheese, is dependent on how many cups of noodles we have. So to find K, remember, I take my Y 3/4 and I'm going to divide it by my X, which is 3. Now, I'll rewrite this as 3/4 divided by 3. I'll say 3/1. Keep it, because when we divide fractions, we change it to multiplication. Switch it, flip it. All right, so cross-reducing, 4 and 1 only have a common factor of 1. 3 and 3, though, go into itself. 3 goes into itself one time, 3 goes into itself one time. 1 times 1 is 1, 4 times 1 is 4. Now let's talk about what this means. My K, my constant, the number I'm multiplying it by, is 1/4. Remember, this is Y over X. And if you look, our Y is cups of cheese, and our X is cups of noodles. Now the reason I point that out is because we have 1 cup of cheese to 4 cups of noodles. 1 cup of cheese to 4 cups of noodles. And our pan size, remember this is our total. If you look at this, 4 plus 1 equals 5. So this constant is telling us actually a lot more than what we even realized. I can write an equation, y equals 1/4 times x, or remember my y is my cups of cheese. I could say cheese equals 1/4 times how many cups of noodles. Now we're going to do the same thing we always do, okay? Remember, I'm going to take whatever in this column here, and I multiply it by our constant. Well, this one right here, 2/3 times 1/4, well, 2 times 1 is 2, 3 times 4 is 12. So that's 2/12, or if I reduce it, 2 goes into itself 1 time, 2 goes into 12 6 times. Okay, we know how to find our constant. We know how to multiply and divide. We're just doing it with fractions. I'm going to bring this one down here a little bit. I'm going to say 5 1/3 times 1/4. Now, 3 times 5 is 15, plus 1 is 16. So I'm going to rewrite this as 16/3 times, and I'm going to do it very sloppy, I'm sorry guys, 16/3 times 1/4. 3 and 1 have a common factor of 1. 16 and 4 have a common factor of 4. 4 goes into itself 1 time, 4 goes into 16 4 times. 4 times 1 is 4, 3 times 1 is 3. If I wanted to make this into a mixed number, 3 goes into 4 1 time, that would be 3, and there's 1 of the 3 left over. So this right here would become 1 1/3. Now we only have 1 where we're going in this direction, and remember that's where we divide. So if I bring that one down here, I'm going to take 1/4, and give us a little space here. I'm going to take 1/4 and divide it by my constant 1/4. Keep it, switch it, flip it. 1 and 1 have a common factor of 1. 4 and 4, though, have a common factor of 4. 4 goes into itself one time, 4 goes into itself one time. I end up with a whole bunch of 1s, which means this is just 1 right here. Now, if we quickly wanted to add 3 plus 3/4 is 3 and 3/4. 1 plus 1/4 is 1 and 1/4 pan size. 1/4 plus 1/6, well, 1/4 plus, nope, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. Oh my goodness. Let's try this again. This is 2/3. Let me get rid of that so I don't mess that up again. 2/3 plus 1/6. Well, remember, we could double this into be 4/6 times 2 times 2. 4/6 plus 1/6 is 5/6. 5 and 1/3 plus 1 and 1/3. Well, 5 plus 1 is 6. 1/3 plus 1/3 is 2/3. And notice the only thing we have left is this right here, this last row. So I'm going to finish up with that. But understand what we did. We found our constant, 1/4. We were able to use that to fill it in for the pan size. And then we either multiplied or divided to find the missing values. Added them together to get our total. Now this last one right here, we're going to think more in proportional terms. Okay? So here's what I have. I know that, well, I guess I'm going to need a little more information here. Up here. I know that, maybe working with these two boxes right here, I know that there can be 1 cup of cheese to 5 cups is a pan size. Well, I don't know what the cups of cheese are right there, so I'll just say that's C, but that's compared to 5 and 5/8 pan size. Now stick with me through this. Now I'm doing a proportion here. So I want to find out what I multiply 5 by to get 5 and 5/8. And if I want to figure out what I'm multiplying by, I divide. So if I take 5 and 5/8 divided by 5, that's going to tell me what I'm multiplying by right here. So changing this into a mixed number, 8 times 5 is 40, plus 5 is 45 over 8, divided by 5 over 1. Keep it, switch it, flip it. 8 and 5 have a common factor, 8 and 1 have a common factor of 1. 45 and 5, though, 5 goes into itself 1 time, 5 goes into 45 9 times, and I'm left with 9/8. That means I'm multiplying here by 9/8, which means I can do the same thing to the top. Multiply by 9/8. Well, 1 times 9/8 is just going to be 9/8. So my C, my cheese right here, is going to be 9/8. Or you could write that as 1 and 1/8. Now, last thing, remember, if I want to go this way, I got to divide. So I'm just going to come down here, and I'm going to take 1 and 1/8 and divide it by my constant of 1/4, and do the same thing again. 8 times 1 plus 1 is 9/8, divided by 1/4, keep it, switch it, flip it. 9 and 1 have a common factor of 1. 8 and 4 have a common factor of 4. 4 goes into itself 1 time. 4 goes into 8 2 times. 9 times 1 is 9. 2 times 1 is 2. Not 1, 2. 2 goes into 9. Oh, 4 times. That's 8. So there's 1/2 left over. All right, guys. The work on these, finding the constant, multiplying or dividing, and then adding to get the final column. Feel free to come back and watch these videos if you get stuck. But even though the numbers are different, the process is still the same.